right. There you have it.
But is that a fair statement? This power that he wields today belongs to the people. No matter everything you say about you being a deft politician, a smart politician, whatever it is, the power that makes him governor, that makes him to sit in Okeayoba, that is different from me, is because the people went on April 14 and put their fingers to paper. And I don't think Dr. Fayose should say that. He's not helpless, and I tell you why. Number one, the wage bill that you asked my brother Larry Ogunshi, he didn't address it. We're sitting here, 4 of us. Let us imagine that we work for TVC all together, the 3 of us. All of a sudden, I get laid off. A new management comes in, I get laid off. Will you still expect that the salary structure, the wage bill of TVC will remain the same?
Unless, of course, we're saying we've employed more
Unless
people.
you have increased your salaries.
Your salaries.
Listen, when Dr. Fayemi was there, one, he was paying 5,000 to senior citizens, 25,000 of them. What happened to that money? Yes, the amount of money that flows into, like you said, is correct. The amount of money that probably flows into Ekiti is probably gone down like every other state today. But people are, you talked about Obiano, Governor Obiano. Did you see the fact that he just opened the rice mill in Anambra State? Investing in productive economy to ensure that economy is regenerated in that place. Anambra is not any better than Ekiti State. It's probably just like, cerebral people, agrarian as well, and all of that. But more than anything else, you got a government in place, a governor in place, who knew that I needed to get creative. The whole thing that we celebrate about Lagos today was about the fact that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu could think it through, that a day is coming that we may not be able to get resources coming from Abuja. So let's get creative.
And isn't that where the private sector input really, was the game changer for Lagos State?
Exactly.
And, like it's been said, let me bring in Ogushi here before we allow him go. Creativity on the part of chief executives of the state. It does seem that that seems to be the missing link, whether you're talking about Ekiti State or any other state for that matter, except in a few cases, that we have already cited here. So what are you doing going forward now? I mean, let's, look ahead. What is your state doing right now to change the situation, of course, especially with the doctors on strike? We hear that emergency services are still going on. Is that likely not to get worse as it is?
But what I will quickly say is, first of all, let Honorable Bimbo and those of us who say we are Ekiti people, but happen to be today in different political camps, let us come together because we have an emergency in Ekiti State. It goes beyond the sentiment of emotional, victims. We are talking about a state that, I'm happy you represented the state at the Federal House of Representatives for 4 years. We fought for creation of Ekiti State as member House of Assembly in Ondo State in 1992. At the risk of losing our seats, we supported our people. The Ekiti State that we fought for, I'm happy that everybody is angered, everybody is frustrated by the situation. What we should do is to galvanize it, to harness it. This is not the first state, this is not the first time that the people will be confronted. One, no government. Lessons must be learned from the way the state has been run in the past. I'm happy you mentioned Okeayoba, which is a non-generative venture, one of the things that we borrowed money to build. It could be at that time, the projection of the government could be on the current, financial status of the state at that time. But we certainly know that those states that are not in trouble are the states that are not encumbered by debt. And most of the things that you might project borrowing money, they are not working. I expect them to say, okay, look at the reform bridge. Yes, government is a continuum. You came, you did your bit. We came, we completed our assistance and got it working. Some people laid the foundation. Some people started it. The personal aggrandizement, the effort grandstanding that we have all been engaged. The campaigns have stopped. It's 2 years into an administration. The campaigns will open. We should, after every election, Because when we were in SDP, NRC era, it was not as divisive as this.
All right.
Well, you don't want to,
hang on.
go in all of that. Otherwise, we will not
You
leave here
didn't tell
this
us.
morning.
Will you be able to withdraw? There's a second bailout now, and there are conditionalities. Do you think your state will meet those conditions and be able to take advantage of that?
The first bailout was a pure loan, where you pay 180% on the amount you take, and if you calculate it on what it is, for this one, the states are pressing the federal government to put the interest rate at 3%, and the money is not going to be paid to the states, because of the way some states manage the first bailout. The money will be paid through the bank as salaries to the workers who are being owed, which is a very logical. It's a collective thing. It's something that was arrived at to remove the crisis of confidence.
Would you cash in on it? You have not answered the question. Would you cash in on it?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's good to know. Finally, Honorable Commissioner, the issue that is brewing right now, the government has shut his account or frozen his account with one of the banks, his private account by the EFCC, as a matter of fact. What exactly is that all about? Do you want to shed more light on that?
It is a legal and constitutional issue. I would rather leave that, for the courts to decide, because the EFCC institution is claiming that they have a right to, do that. And but I would just say that if we imbue an institution with powers without limits, because we have an emergency, that's what we should not emotionally respond to issues. So maybe we should look at it. Is it in the best interest of Nigerians that a body should have absolute powers or not? Because we'll decide. It's a constitutional issue. It's not every issue that should be treated as political because it happens to a person today. Because as the world is certain, things always turn around.
Okay,
Tomorrow
and we'll have to say...
tomorrow there will be a new president.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow there will be a new approach. We should look at the way we should put laws in place to ensure that criminals get punished. Simple.
All right.
And that's what I want to say. Thank you so much, Lanre Ogunṣuyi, Commissioner for Information, Ekiti State, there clarifying issues for us. Of course, we have... thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast this morning. Bibodara Amola is still here with us in the studio, former member House of Representatives. You want to react? What exactly is the way forward for Ekiti State right now? You talked about, how Lagos State is shining the light in, where it is right now. Lagos State seems to always be the standard, the gold standard for other states. What are people like yourself doing, to chip in, to, join hands with the state to move Ekiti State forward?
Well, there must be a thorough dissection of what's going on. I did geology in school, and one of the things that we learned was that the past is the key to the future. And you must live the realities of some of the things that we're talking about here today. It's not about me or Dr. Fauci or Lanre Ogunṣuyi. No. The realities are that if you don't get the details right, if you don't understand governance, so to speak, you will continue to run into issues. One, all of those things that he talked about, Okeayoba, that I said Okeayoba was one of the things that Dr. Femi deployed the resources of state, that the money he took from the bond he took to fund some critical projects. He should also have admitted to the fact that Irebond bricks that they are celebrating today, it was up and running before Femi left. Okay? That's one of the places where the money went to. Ikogosi Warm Spring Hotel. The Warm Spring and the hotel, the facility there, badly run down now.
Is that not because government has no business doing business?
Government must provide.
Past governments and present governments, have they been able to let private sector buy into the vision of the state?
The first responsibility of government is to provide the enabling environment. You must have a system that makes the environment attractive. Money chases attraction of where money is going to fester. It's just like a woman. Excuse me. It's just like a woman. You won't date a man who doesn't have a prospect. It's logical. So,
makes sense.
Absolutely. So, when Fahimi was in government in Ekiti, guess what? A whole lot of hotels, a whole lot of businesses sprang up. What happened to the dairy that was being proposed in Ikun? What happened to the agricultural facility in Yemero? These were projects that government thought through. The other day, the Honorable Commissioner for Finance went on television and broke it down into bits. Priorities must be righted. That's number one. Before you begin to canvass anybody, you don't preach to investors on the basis of emotions. He's bringing his money, he's bringing other equity into it. He must be able to tell you that, yes, I am sure that my investment is not going to go down the drains.
These projects you talk about, are they really sustainable in the light of what's happened to them now?
You know, I challenge them to speak to statistics. In December 2014,
years ago.
Yes.
I think 2013, not less than 20,000 people visited Ikogosi to go to the warm spring. That was also prostrate before Fahimi went there. Right. I don't know whether you've been to Ikogosi warm spring, but then if 20,000, and the records are there, they could go into the books. If 20,000 people went to Ikogosi warm spring between the periods of December 20 and December 29, that will lead to a generation of a local economy around Ikogosi. They will buy cookies, they will buy palm wine, they will buy pounded yam when they go checking the tourist attraction.
Okay.
The place was turned around. What is the situation of Ikogosi today? You take your cameras there and go and find out.
All right. Let's zero in exactly what you are doing for the state. What initiatives do you have to move the state forward?
Well, for right now, the initiative I'm working on it goes beyond the state. You know, I believe very strongly that one of the things that we must do is to ensure that the discount culture in this country, there must be a discount culture which will take care of the vulnerable. Okay, everything we're talking about today, who are the guys who feel the brunt? Okay, they are the young people, the guys in school, defined by the guys in school and youth corps members. So, and up until now, there's no integrated systemic discount culture. And so we have come up with what you call the Nigerian Students and Youth Corps Discount Card, which is a systemic platform, integrated platform, to ensure that all these guys who are in the vulnerable category, you know, can access discounts on every product or services that they need to keep them in school.
How will this add value to them?
Oh, fantastic. Okay, fine. If you're from a state like mine, where your parents have not been able to pay, have not received salary for 7 months, how do I ensure that when you go to school, you will stay in school and remain focused? It's going to add value. Today, students on campuses do 001. That is no breakfast, no lunch, only dinner. You know, because they can afford it. They can afford textbooks, they can afford Medicare, they can afford all of those things because the money that is available to the students is out of the margin that comes from their parents and sponsors. So if these sponsors are facing a debilitating circumstance, you naturally expect that it will reverberate. It will roll on to the laps of these guys. And so we're taking them off harm's way, off the attraction of danger and deviant behaviors, and saying, okay, fine, this is a discount option. And as of today, we have 1,815 partners who are willing to identify with. In Ekiti, for instance, we have 104 partners in Ekiti State. Everywhere you go, you see that accepted their sticker. There are medical centers who are giving 30% off surgery. And
these partners, they're from the private sector?
Absolutely. That's one of the things we're doing. You understand? And that, it again, takes tension off government. It takes, listen, in Kenya here, it's there. In Ghana here, it's there. And I'm wondering why we've left ourselves to the vagaries for so long. If you know what 1,000 naira means to a student, you would appreciate the fact that there must be an integrated discount culture.
Well, we have been students before, so
okay.
we understand what that means.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, now going forward,
yes,
this is a very good project.
Yeah.
It will help students and all of that.
Yeah.
But what about the bigger picture? I mean, this government is talking about diversifying the economy, agriculture and all of that. What are you doing in your own capacity to sell the idea or glamorize agriculture, you know, for these young people?
You see, again, the narratives must change. There's no need to glamorize agriculture. Agriculture will demand that you roll up your sleeves and get your hands soiled.
In terms of making it attractive, making the young person understand that
the only attraction from agriculture is to make profit. Let it be profit driven. If the bottom line shows that if you go into this constructive venture, animal husbandry, crop production, and all of that, you're going to make money. It's your bank account that is going to cause the attraction for you to go there. It's not anybody hyping it.
Okay.
So for me, as a person, I'm starting a cashew milling plant in Ekiti. And of course, we're getting all the investors together to come and partner with us there on the basis of integrity. Listen, the environment, but for the care and concern and love for that place. And I'm not saying that they love Ekiti any less. But then they can only function to the extent that they understand and the latitude of how they comprehend how government and how to impact lives and welfare of the people should be.
Yeah, government is continuum, but sometimes what you see in most of this administration is once a party leaves or when a particular administration leaves, the ideas and everything with the administration.
The next one takes,
those are
direction.
lovely and lofty ideas, and the commissioner had actually, at least on the air, extended a hand of friendship that people should come together and work.
Exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. The road leading to where the burnt bricks industry is less than 10 minutes drive to the main highway. Has it been fixed? You go there, what is the attraction to drive all the way from Lagos, Ijebu and all of this to go and buy the burnt brick sitting in Ire? If the road is bad, that's one of the things that's factors of production. You must create the environment that would make it attractive for me to go in there and then to begin to do business.
And
listen,
speaking of burnt bricks, I mean, that will provide a lot of housing
absolutely.
for Nigerians.
Marketers will come out of there. People will stay, they will lay overnight there. They will sleep at the hotels and do all of those things, buy food and all of those things. If the road into that place is bad, what is the attraction? It's going to take away. It's going to take up the cost of buying those products, and then it's outside of the reach in town.
All right. Bimboda Mola, former member House of Representatives. Very good to have you on the show this morning.
The congressman.
Yes, it says honorable is not
Just
honorable
If you get the
anymore.
dynamics right, an armed robber can win an election.
All right.
All right.